Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Welcome, Lance Bass.
Oh, hey, guys.
The last time I saw you, we were eating cheeseburgers.
Yes, a lot of cheeseburgers.
And throwing up in buckets.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Let's just leave it at that. We don't have to tell them.
No one needs to know.
Okay.
So we've been talking about it ever since we found out you guys were doing it, and now the Boy Band Con, which is on YouTube Premium, is on everyone's mind. Talking about Lou Pearlman, of course, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys? Yeah, Backstreet Boys. I mean, O-Town.
LFO. There was all kinds of crazy transcon acts.
But it all goes back to this Lou Pearlman guy. And you decided, you guys all decided, it was time for the story to be told because there are so many rumors out there of who he was, who he wasn't.
Right.
So why, first of all, why did you guys decide this is an important story to tell?
Well, I mean, it's good timing to tell this story because I guess every so often you need that cautionary tale remindment of what to look out for. And right now we're in a time where everyone's kind of speaking their truths and everyone's listening to you and believing you. So there's a crazy amount of amazing docs coming out right now, and it was just perfect timing that ours came out at the same time. But it just takes a look at Lou Pearlman, who was a very layered guy. I mean, he was a great guy in one way, but then ended up being a complete criminal. I mean, enacted one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in American history.
It's sort of like Fire Festival meets...
Yeah.
It's like that guy, this was like his hero. Like, yeah, I mean, Lou Pearlman is basically his hero.
Oh, God, you got to aim big, aim high. Yeah. Okay, Lance, take us back. Lanston.
Yes, yes. You knew all the details. Yeah.
Take us back to when you were a young kid who wanted to be a singing star.
Well, it's weird because I never really wanted to be a singing star. I was just, in Mississippi singing with my friends in like this show choir. And Justin called me one day because we shared a vocal coach back in the South. And they put this group together and they were looking for a bass singer.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'll fly to Orlando and sing with you guys. And we just thought we were going to be a local a cappella group at Disney. And yeah, it got a little bigger than that.
And so where did Lou Pearlman come in here?
Lou is the one who funded our group at the beginning. We signed with his label. So he was the president of our record label. He was our manager. He was the sixth member of our group. He owned all our publishing. Well, he owned everything.
You guys signed a bad deal with this guy.
We signed one of the worst deals in music history.
So I'm assuming you were told this is not the best deal, but it's a deal.
No, we were told it was a great deal.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, by him, but didn't you have someone look it over?
Yeah, our sixth member of our group and his lawyers, because we couldn't afford lawyers. Oh. So, our sixth member told us it was good to sign, so we signed it.
Wow.
I know, we were stupid.
Well, like no, but I guess I mean, if you think about it, you guys didn't know. You had no point of reference, really, and you're looking at this thinking we're going to make a lot of money, we're going to be big.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
You're promised the world,
right?
Yeah, so you believe it.
Wow.
So talk about down the line. Talk about the things in this deal you signed that were so far over the line into the world of heinous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he just basically owned everything. He owned our complete name, and that's what he ended up suing us over. He wanted to take the name NSYNC and make us choose a different name.
Right.
I mean, which is ridiculous. I mean, he was basically taking 90% of the whole entire business.
And when you talk about 90% of the business, we're talking in numbers. How much?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how much was being made at that time.
So there's no way to find out how many millions or tens of millions of dollars Lou Pearlman.
No.
The part was crazy when you said that it was 10 million in record sales. You get that first check. You're so excited. You're thinking it's big. You open it up, and how much was inside of it?
Yeah, it was 10 million records sold. So it was hundreds of millions of dollars. 3 years we had been working. We #1 albums, #1 tours, the biggest merchandise sold in the world. And
okay, stop. Guess. How much do you think this check should have been?
It probably should have been, I mean, at least a couple $1 million.
Okay, at
each.
least. Okay, Danielle.
Same thing, couple mil.
I agree. I was thinking that too.
I would think at least 10 to 15 to 20 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you open the check, and how much was it?
It's our first check presentation. We're all there with our families. Open it up, and it's $10,000.
$10,000.
What?
Yeah.
Who screamed?
Yeah.
Everyone's just jaw dropped, and I mean, it was horrible.
Well, so did anyone raise their hand and go, "Pardon me, Mr. Pearlman, Mr. Pearlman"?
No, we didn't really speak. I ripped up the check, and we called lawyers.
Oh.
And that was the day we grew into men.
Well, so you're still under contract with this guy.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you still have a career. You have careers going, and but you're out there.
Yeah.
Working your ass off, and nothing's going to come out of it.
Yeah, it was a scary moment because we knew we were stuck in this contract because, I mean, he was legally stealing from us. And all we want to do is renegotiate because we knew, I mean, everyone signs a horrible deal, their first deal, but in success, you renegotiate, right? He didn't want to renegotiate at all. And so that's when we started getting into the lawsuits.
Okay, so it's NSYNC, then Backstreet Boys. It's an interesting story about Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC in the Lou Pearlman world.
Yeah.
One was another group brought in to kind of hedge the bets on the other, or like how did that relationship work?
I mean, what I think was going through that head of Lou's was where there's Coke, there's Pepsi. And so he had the Backstreet Boys, and he thought, okay, if I create another group that, is like them, I can have two groups fighting each other that, it's, you can have the top two of the whole industry. And it actually worked, and he would keep us really pitted against each other so we wouldn't talk. He would say that the guys hated us, we hated them, we would talk so much crap to each other. So we never spoke the whole time that we were a group, just so that we wouldn't figure it out, I guess.
But look, I know he's making all of your money, but you're out there having fun, you're singing music, and you got huge fans. You don't need the cash.
Sure.
I mean,
and we were getting $35 a day with per diem, so
wow,
we were rich.
What's the problem?
Yeah, I know.
Spoiled little brats.
Spoiled little kids.
How did you decide who you were going to reach out to be part of this documentary?
I kind of blanketed a lot of people. I only knew the music side of this whole Lou Pearlman story. I didn't really know much about the Ponzi scheme, his childhood, only the stories that Lou would ever tell me. So, in doing this, I kind of blanketed everyone that ever worked with Lou because I wanted everyone to be able to, say their piece. And it was hard to get anyone in this documentary because it's such a dark story and people didn't want to rehash their life story of Lou Pearlman. But everyone that ended up being in it, well, I'm so grateful for, and yeah, I think it turned out great.
I got to imagine when you sat down to watch this finished product, you actually were hit upside the head several times. Oh, you know what? I never realized.
Oh, yeah.
And you put the pieces together. Like just now, I mean, all these years later, what Lance are you now seeing that you really never thought of before?
Well, I mean, with Lou, it was all the stories that he would tell us of his childhood, of how he got started, and he was always, bragging about everything that he's done. And then in, shooting this documentary and talking to a lot of his childhood friends, we started realizing that he was taking his childhood friends' stories and making them his own.
So he was a liar.
He was just lying. I mean, even
Goodness.
at 10 years old, he started creating this character because no one liked him. So he wanted to become rich and famous just so people could like him. So
he believed it probably.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was such a narcissist that I think he believed everything that he said.
Out of all the crappy things he did to you and everyone else, including the Ponzi scheme, businessmen and women around the world, whatever that he screwed over, how sorry do you feel for this guy? I mean, he's dead, he's gone.
I don't feel
pity?
sorry.
What's
I don't
in there?
feel sorry for him. I have empathy for that 10-year-old Lou Pearlman that felt like he did have to create this whole new life because no one liked him. So you do feel conflicted on, wow, okay, I know probably why he did it or how he became this person, but it doesn't excuse the criminal that he became.
Out of all the people you spoke with, especially the artist, did any of them say, "Stop it, Lance"? He was great. He did great things for all of us.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you'll see in the film.
Who did that?
Aaron Carter. Like he went to up to bat for Lou Pearlman, and
Right.
he had a bigger bond than any of us because he started at 6, 7 years old with Lou Pearlman, and he sold 5 million records before he was 10 years old. So he owed a lot to Lou, and he didn't have much of a family, so Lou became his father. So his bond was much bigger than the rest of us.
Wow.
Right. Wow. Well, what about the predator talk and stuff like that?
Yeah.
We
touch on it for sure. I mean, we'd be crazy not to mention the pedophilia talk around Lou. And we definitely touch on it. The thing about this film, which you'll see, is we didn't want to put anything in it that was not factual. I mean, we really cared about our integrity as a filmmaker to make sure everything was very factual. And so everyone touches on it, and everyone tells their side of it. So you'll have to watch and find out.
Is there any truth to the fact that Shaq could have signed you guys?
It is very true.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got that now?
I mean, we lived in Orlando, and Shaq was God in Orlando at the time.
God everywhere.
And so he had a recording studio. He just built a recording studio there. So we recorded all of our first demos and everything in his house. And it was incredible. But yeah, he could have easily signed us, but he didn't. No one wanted to sign us back then. Absolutely no one.
Bunch of dumbasses. Lance Bass, by the way, we're talking about the Boy Band Con. You can watch it on YouTube Premium, and everyone's going to be talking about it more and more as more and more of your friends watch it. Let's talk about you, Lance.
Oh,
doing
I love
a documentary. No. Seriously, this is going to be a good thing. So, doing a documentary, something you've never done before, other than your Instagram videos of scaring your husband Michael. Which is my favorite. Have you seen this, by the way?
They're my favorite thing. I love when people get scared.
If I was him, I would slap the crap out of you.
I know my husband. I feel so, if he didn't laugh at the end of all of them, then I would not do it. And I only do it in October because I give his heart a break the rest of the year.
Okay, so you've done other documentaries.
Yeah, this is like my 5th I've worked on. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel stupid.
Oh no. Trust me, they've never been as good as this. Obviously.
Well, so what could be next? I mean, there are a lot of NSYNC fans out there that would love to see like nitty gritty behind the. Is that ever going to be done?
But like NSYNC story?
Yeah.
Probably not. But I am. My next 2 projects. They're actually 2 scripted shows, and they do revolve in the NSYNC world, which is really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Like really fun. There's one story about these girls, Winter and Meredith, that and the NSYNC fans know this story. This girl hatched a plan to get on The Price is Right. One of them was going to win a Winnebago and follow us on tour for all summer.
Could happen.
And it happened just like that.
Yeah.
Wait,
I remember that story, of course.
They actually went on Price is Right and won a Winnebago. Which is a 1 in a quadrillion.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it happened. So we're doing a road trip.
Do you still talk to them?
I just met up with them a couple weeks ago, so we're starting to develop the movie now.
Funny.
Yeah.
I can see that being just a fun.
Oh, it's a
fun
it's a hilarious comedy. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so now this is out and about. What's the feedback you're getting from the Boy Band Con?
Wow, it's been incredible. And because with the subject of boy band, I think half the people already just roll their eyes. They're like, oh God, what are we going to be into? But it turned out so great, and you'll see the way my director over there, Aaron Kunkel, is so incredible, and the way they edit it. If you love films, you're gonna love it. If you were a child of the '90s, you're gonna love it. So it kind of ticks all the boxes. So the reviews have been incredible. Somehow we still have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes across the board. I know, and I haven't seen one bad thing about it. Like not even one saying, "Oh, like screw it." It's yeah, we had one guy, defending Lou. He's been sending emails to all of us, but it's some business partner or something. But yeah,
okay.
I have to believe that there are artists who are coming up through the ranks and they're doing. Of course, the music business now is almost nothing like it used to be when you guys were doing NSYNC. There's got to be artists out there that can actually learn, and I'm sure the entire music world is learning from. The mistakes you guys made. Of
course. And I mean, and look at what we're learning from the Fire Festival doc to our doc, all these, things that are coming out, they're all cautionary tales. And, we need to keep being reminded of this all the time because there's always going to be people in every industry at the top that are going to take advantage of the people at the bottom. Always.
You know what I love about this? I was thinking about here's my iPhone. It's probably my 80th iPhone I've ever had. And I have all the other iPhones still at home. And I have all of my footage from my however many years I've been on a phone. In my cloud, we all have the ability to do our own documentaries.
I mean, true.
Yeah. We do. We all have the ability to. Okay, what's my story? Or look at the video and picture footage, the video footage and the pictures you have. How could you put that together to form your own story or one of your many stories and produce your own? No Rotten Tomatoes for any of it.
No.
I think it's
that'll be some app. I'm sure someone will come up with that.
Yeah. Like, why not?
Enter your pictures here. They create your own documentary.
The documentary app. Oh my God.
Doc app.
That was your idea, but I'll steal it.
Take it out.
It's the doc app. Okay, the Boy Band Con is available on YouTube Premium. And Lance, it's great to see you.
Thank you. So good to see you.
And I can't wait to see more Scare the Crap Out of Michael videos in October.
They're coming in October.